you've ever wondered why anyone would love you, be attracted to you, want you in their lives, then you're not alone in asking that question. Of course, maybe you're not asking that question. You might have just found this video by curiosity. You were surfing on my channel and you saw the title and you were like, all right, this looks interesting. So if you thought it was interesting and you're here, good, because you're about to get some pretty good insights that I think are going to help you lead a more fulfilling and satisfying life. And if you watch the entire video, the whole thing will combine together to, I think, create something kind of cool. Where this all comes from is I was doing a Google search and I typed in the search bar, why would anyone, I can't even remember what I was looking for. Like, why would anyone want to invest in a bear market? Some shit like that. And I typed, why would anyone, and it auto-filled, why would anyone want to live in New York? I guess maybe because I live in New York and Google geolocated me, I don't know. Or maybe that is actually the #1 search term. But the #2 thing that came up, and might be the #1 thing where you live, is why would anyone love me? And that struck me like right in the face, because obviously what I do for a living, and also because it is actually a question that comes up with every single one of my coaching clients at some point. And it doesn't matter whether that's a single man, a single woman, a man or a woman in a relationship, a couple talking together. A lot of people do not come to me for this issue. But at some point, as we dig into what their shit is, out pops this thing. Why would anyone love me? It's something that they don't articulate all the time. They don't really think it. But subconsciously, they fuck up their lives because they actually are not sure that somebody ought to. They search around inside and they're like, I lie a lot, I fake a lot of shit, I make a lot of mistakes, I'm sometimes an asshole, I'm moody, I'm not as cool as I pretend to be. Why would anybody love me? And this is basically a common wound for all humans. If you're a human, something in you, even if you've never articulated, even if you've never said this out loud, there's something in you that actually does wonder why anybody would love you. And it casts around inside and it can't find one good fucking reason for it. There are plenty of people who think even God wouldn't love them because he knows the evil shit that goes on in your head. This is, like I said, a common wound for all humans. But as Rumi said, the wound is where the light gets in. And there's a real opportunity here, and has been a real opportunity for just about everybody that I've worked with. It's been a huge opportunity for me in my life to really explore this question and see if we can answer it. And I think I can answer it for you. So let's get started. Again, this is not going to be just a bunch of, self-help bullshit where you look in the mirror and go, damn it, I'm lovable, because that's a load of crap. You're probably not all that lovable. So let's really dig into what the real meaning is here. First of all, the distinction that I think is important is that when it comes to searching yourself for whether or not you're a lovable human, it's important that you recognize and understand that you have no fucking idea what being lovable is or what somebody else actually is looking for. And really at the most basic level of attraction, when I talk to men and women about what they think the opposite sex wants, they are utterly clueless. You're probably clueless too. For most men, when we think, what does a woman really want? It's some kind of like an alpha male. The big role model is James Bond. Be cool like James Bond. And I can, with great shame, I can remember going to bars when I was like 19 or 20 years old, sitting at the corner of the bar and sipping a martini and doing my best to look like cool and dangerous like Bond. And needless to say, women found that incredibly creepy. Because the truth is, James Bond is a fictional character that was written by a man, for men, and the people that are really turned on for James Bond and think he's just the coolest fucking guy on earth are little boys. Not women, little boys. And we grow up with this thing, and he gets all the girls and stuff. Why does he get all the girls? Because it's entertainment for men. It's not entertainment for women, And then, listen, there are women who dig Bond, but that is mostly because he's got some charming and funny lines written by great writers in Hollywood, and because he's played by some very, very handsome actor who's all ripped and shit, and that's a pretty good start, But the truth of just being like a stony, cool, can kill anyone, professionally does kill people, wake up, man. Women could not be less interested in that type of a guy. And women, it's the same thing. They watch Sex and the City, and they see, like Carrie Bradshaw and her friends out there, and they see some really attractive guy, and they're like, ooh, he's so hot, oh my God, he's coming this way, he's so hot, and then he comes over and they blow him off. That's the first thing they do. And then somehow he keeps trying, and then they end up getting together. So women have this idea that blowing off men is attractive. It's mind-bending, but women actually do behave in ways that their favorite romantic character behaves from a chick flick, and men don't get it. Like, we think we're being rejected. We don't get it. We're not particularly attracted to that. So men and women, we don't really understand what it is to be attractive, and wanted. We don't understand the qualities that it would take for us to be loved. So we just start there. Now let's take this another level, even deeper, because ultimately, if I dig deeply enough into this with anyone, a close friend, a lover, a client, myself, what I end up ultimately arriving at is, wait a minute, I have proof that I'm not lovable. There's something about me in particular that nobody would really want to get involved in because of my crazy shit. We all have proof. And what's happening is our self-critical voice is an absolute genius at searching through our rational mind, our logical mind, and picking and choosing the facts necessary to prove its point, to justify our irrational beliefs. The most dangerous kind of lie is a lie that's sometimes true. It's a lie, but we can really justify it. We can see the case where it's true, and then we can call it globally true, and then we just think it's true. So we really believe that, like, okay, maybe for other people, Alex, what you're talking about is real, but me, no, I actually am incredibly fucking unlovable. I have proof. Like, a bunch of people didn't love me, or whatever your proof is. So what I want you to consider here is that, as Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. And that's an important and true thing that, once you grasp it, really does give you a lot of leverage. You have to recognize that your thought patterns are the thing that you have control over, and are the difference between you believing you're unlovable, acting out as someone who's unlovable, and sabotaging the love that somebody is giving you because of their reasons, not your broken reasons. You don't know. Only they can decide what's lovable for them. And when you put yourself out there and somebody is giving you affection and you're sabotaging it because of this belief, understand, recognize that you can't control whether or not somebody loves you. Some people won't, and some people will. But the piece that you control is what you think, and there's power there. And finally, what you have to recognize is that because everybody feels this way, nobody actually wants somebody who is perfect. Perfect isn't lovable. Perfect is a robot. It's a machine. We don't want to be in love with a robot or a machine. We want somebody who's about as fucked up as we are. Otherwise, we're just going to be insecure around them. They're going to be demonstrably too good for us, or so we'll believe. Nobody really wants somebody that's perfect. We want somebody who's got, some flaws, some humanity, and frankly, that's what makes us charming and interesting to be with. Your flaws, a lot of times the things that you think are kind of fucked up, are the things that liberate your lover, that give them permission to be their human self. And finally, and here's the big move, here's the thing that if you thought you were unlovable, knowing this will make you rare, and powerful, and exquisitely lovable. Which is, knowing this allows you to go meta to the problem, to actually see that all humans share this wound. We all have it. You have it, she has it, he has it, we all have it. And when you're in a relationship with somebody, knowing that they have this core wound, knowing that they don't feel ultimately lovable, and knowing that you don't ultimately feel lovable, allows you to communicate with that part of them in a way that is tender and open and authentic and self-forgiving, which allows them to forgive themselves and makes you an incredible person to be around, to be in love with. And you get to help them manage this deep core wound. And as Rumi said, the wound is where the light comes in.